We got great guests in studio here on a Wednesday. We check in on things happening with the Port of Shelton, and it's our Port of Call segment. Dick Taylor, Wendy Smith, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good to see you guys. See some numbers in front of you there.
Oh, yeah.
Budget time is here.
Budget time is here, yeah.
It is.
What's going on? How are things looking for the Port of Shelton these days?
Well, it's looking pretty doggone good, really. We're in the middle of the budget process right now, well, toward the end of it right now, and we will be having a budget hearing on what day is that?
The 1st.
The 1st of October,
At our regular
meeting. And then we'll pass the budget after that and submit it to the county.
And when does this fiscal year, or however that works, it starts? Is it a January 1 or is it?
Yeah, we're January to
Yes.
December 31st.
Is there any reasons why? I know there's some places that start a little earlier and start a little later. Is it
I
just
don't know.
turn the calendar
to do the budget, or the calendar year?
for your budget to be
fiscal year,
like from 1/1/2020 to 12/31/2020, as opposed to maybe starting in October or starting in July.
I think it's statute. I think we're required to have our calendar year. I just saw that recently. I didn't know that, but I think our statutes for ports say that you have to start your calendar year has to run January to December, but the statute also says your budget has to be to the county, submitted to the county the first Wednesday after the first Tuesday or first Monday in October.
I'm sure it does. Why wouldn't it?
So we, years ago, they also have a kind of a get out of jail free card or whatever. So you could opt to do it later if you just said you needed extra time. So a lot of places do that. We got on track, I don't know, 6 years ago now or
since
something.
I've been there essentially. Yeah.
And we've just continued to adhere to that, and it kind of makes the end of the year nice. We can, just kind of know our plan and float through the end of the year without all the budget hearings then. So
when it comes to working with the county, obviously you work closely with them on a variety of issues, but what is it determinant for you to show them what you're working with? I mean, why do you have to submit it to
by law?
Yeah, it's also by statute, by law.
Yeah.
But what about why did they have to make that law? I mean, why?
I think it's
independent a little.
Well, the county treasurer is actually the on record bank, so to speak, for all entities, fire districts, water districts, port districts, cities, county, so they're kind of the controller of all that. They collect all the they set the levy rates by formula, they collect all the taxes, they distribute the taxes. In our case, as a port, we're able to go out and become our own treasurer, and we did that in the early 2000s, like 2002, I think, something like that. And so we don't use the county for they don't do warrants or, any check writing for us. They simply collect our taxes and remit our taxes. So we actually bank we choose our own bank, and we have a treasurer. It's Commissioner Patterson is our treasurer for this year, and they can change every year. She's been the treasurer for the last four years, I guess. But so it's just a different, and that probably wouldn't work for every small entity. They need to have that county oversight, but we're able to do that. It comes with it a lot of rules that you have to have a CPA, you have to have an outside auditor, you have to have different things that go along with it. But for us, it's been easy and great. And if we all of a sudden have a contractor do work and they need to get a check out of cycle, we can do that. We have our own checkbook, and we can write a check rather than having to solicit the county and go through that process.
Okay, so that makes sense. And so how are things preliminarily? They say they're looking good? And
we're running about a $4 million budget. What's the total? I can't. I'm not reading it here right.
So
$5 million budget.
Yeah, so $5 million. We're looking at several projects as we've talked. The FAA. We're looking again at another discretionary over $4 million project next year. So that makes our number look extremely high. Of course, that's all 90% funded through FAA, and another typically 5 from DOT Aviation. They don't fund as much when it's a larger project like this. They kind of have to cut it off because they have so many requests. So it'll probably be more like a 93% funding, and then we fund the rest. So it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
That's a a best case scenario. We aren't certain of that project. They just are submitting us for that project. That's the taxiway paving. And while we're talking about the FAA, we still don't have we still don't have our grant. We did hear from some representatives last week saying, we're sorry, it is moving through the process. It's just still, stuck in DC, and so we're waiting. And they asked
for 20 more years.
Yeah. How quick can you turn your grant paperwork around? And we said immediately. We said in a day or two. So, so we're just, we're just hopeful that project will still come to be. Looking at the weather, we're worrying.
Is that just because so many folks are submitting projects and it takes so much time for eyes, or
I don't know. They don't really ever tell you that.
Pace of government, maybe just something like that.
Yeah. The good thing for us, and we talked about it in our staff meeting yesterday, is we're ready. So we've been ready. It wasn't on our end that the holdup, and so we can clearly say that we are just sitting around waiting for this project.
We are really shovel ready.
So, but meanwhile, things keep ticking along, and of course, our grounds maintenance crew, they're getting the Oyster Fest grounds already.
Man.
That's coming into full
that's just around the corner.
It's just around the corner.
Yeah. So good things like that. They've been out doing some forced labor, which is our own labor. So we're not contracting out to kind of refurbish a little building out at Johns Prairie that potentially could be a leased building. It's a real tiny. It was a classroom long ago for Mason County Forest Products. So could be used as a bathroom and a couple little offices, so it could be utilized for someone.
Somebody. That's awesome.
And they cleaned a shed building. It's got a back wall and then open, but it's a roofed building that maybe could be utilized by a tenant of some sort. We've had interest in it in the past. It was attached to another lease and then cut off of that lease most recently, and so
it's essentially a pole building.
So
good.
So
opportunities for folks.
Right.
So that's one of our key. What do we want to call it? Logo?
Oh yeah.
You guys working on your logo?
Still,
promoting possibilities is our
tagline.
You should do if you live in the Port District, submit one.
Do a contest.
Save you a lot of money.
There you go.
Save you a lot of money on that. Very cool.
Yesterday we looked at a whole bunch of designs
things
for logos.
Cool.
Because our mission has changed.
Sure.
So the logo that we currently have doesn't fit what we do anymore. So that's what we're looking at changing.
Got to get them all together. Synergy.
Synergy,
right?
Wow. How'd you get that in a sentence? Yeah, that's amazing.
I don't know. Dick Taylor, Wendy Smith, good to see you guys, and we'll look forward to hearing that adopted budget and moving into the next year before too long. Good to see you.
Cool.
Thanks, you guys.